let's talk a little bit about the new landscape of WWE. Actually, I like to ask you, Jay, man, because you are really tough on WWE. And I know you made a video recently saying that TNA is making changes, but WWE isn't. Have you seen any changes in WWE over these past couple of weeks since the draft has been fully instated?
Well, yes, they have made some changes. Well, like number one, I mean, they, like I said, they took over well, I haven't said this in my video, but they did took over. They take over like the government gimmick over. I mean, we don't see a lot like Shark Boy anymore, man. I mean, we don't see Brutus Magnus act like an asshole anymore up in the TV show. We don't. When was the last time we even saw Q-Kid, man? I mean, seriously. I'm glad we are not seeing Q-Kid. Rock and Collins now on the show. I mean, and also they're getting new wrestlers. They're trying to, get a new fresh from their company. Like getting wrestlers still from wrestlers from Japan and try to get more women into the knockout division. Actually, try to do something with knockout division. And what I always like to see is that I like to see Sarah Stocks and that Japanese girl who I was trying to say, Ko Hamada. Yeah, that Japanese. She's Japanese and Mexican, but she is awesome. I hope that TNA will do something to actually make the knockouts to have a new fresh. So I'm looking forward to the changes that are going on. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Can I go now?
Go ahead.
That's it. Okay. I think I did rant on TNA. They have made some big changes. The matches are getting better, but there's only one problem that it's just I cannot take anymore. It makes me fall asleep during watching it. It's the promos. Like I was watching I hit so much on the same promo. I was watching TNA last night, and there was 14 promos in 2 hours, and it was in 50 minutes. There was like 8 promos. It was only like 4 or 5. I think it was 4 matches on that night. It was all just useless skits. And it's not like most of them didn't even make sense. Most of them were just oh, you know what? My family's just not being good at the thing. It's like so pointless. It's always Jeff Jarrett on the damn thing or the main roster. And I'm tired of seeing them. It's like they're trying to build Jeff Jarrett up to winning the world title or something. Because he gets more promos than everyone in the whole company does besides me and Coffee does. They get equal things. That's funny. Okay, go.
Yeah, no, the reason they have Jeff Jarrett just doing promos is because they want to sell his DVD. It has 8 discs or something crazy like that. The history of the WWE Championship got 3 discs, and Jeff Jarrett has 5. There's something wrong with that. No, I agree with you totally. Those promos, those interviews, it is so annoying. There's not a single sport, entertainment, or completely unscripted that does that many interviews. You watch the NBA playoffs, they got an interview at the end of each quarter that plays. Some of them play while they're showing this game, and then they got an interview at the end of the game, maybe just want to have post-rap analysis. So that's a joke. This is way too much. How many times we've got to see Mick Foley go into an airport and say, I've got my world title belt, go into an ice cream shop, I got my world title belt, I got my world title belt. Stop it. It's annoying. We really want to see wrestling. And I used to be very critical of WWE and all the, in their lack therever. WWE for a long time had a lack, really, of, poignant promos. But now they don't have anything, really. Raw is getting a little bit better. Raw for a long time, especially when Cena was champ for that whole year, had way too many segments and not enough wrestling. I always think SmackDown's had the best balance of segments and actual wrestling. But yeah, it's annoying. It really is.
I think those promos make sense when Mick Foley was running into the diners and the airports telling everybody he won the World Heavyweight Championship because, the buy rates for their pay-per-views are so low, nobody knew he won, so he just had to let everybody know.
Why you have to go that far?
Okay, yeah, let me say something about TNA, the direction that TNA is going in. A lot of people were saying that TNA, TNA is improving, just like J-Man. He made a video saying TNA is making changes, but WWE isn't. That same week that everybody was saying how TNA was so great, that's after TNA got their little press from Bobby Lashley appearing at Lockdown. That's after you heard about Amazing Red, heard about Paul London, heard about Sarah Stott and Jethro Holliday. But people don't realize that was never the problem in TNA, because people think just because they get a couple of new guys that all of their problems are going to be settled. How are all of their problems being settled when it was just announced that the main event for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship at Sacrifice will be Mick Foley, Sting, Kurt Angle, and Jeff Jarrett? That's TNA's problem right there. And with them incorporating all of these new guys, basically just throwing a new face in front of them every single week, that's basically like if your house was on fire and somebody starts tap dancing trying to get your attention away from the fire. And I'm letting you know right now, I can smell the smoke, and you're wasting your time tap dancing because I can still see my house is on fire. So, yeah, going on to WWE and the changes that they have been making, I see changes in WWE, and this is not because I have a vendetta against TNA or whatever, because actually I took a break from wrestling. I mean, not wrestling. I'm thinking I'm a wrestler or something, but yeah, I took a break from making videos on YouTube, and I was going to see, if I'm watching Impact as a regular person, not going down the line trying to see all of the things that I can pick out that are bad about that particular episode, will I think it's better? So I did that. I wasn't trying to nitpick, and the episode still sucked. Like, Impact still sucked. But that's kind of a messed up segue to saying that I don't have a vendetta against TNA. But anyway, I don't have a vendetta against TNA. But going on to WWE, with the draft, people were thinking that Raw was going to get loaded up with the megastars. Raw was going to be the big, super huge, excellent show. But actually, the two shows that came out better in the draft, from my vantage point, were SmackDown and ECW. I absolutely love the new look of SmackDown, and it was my least favorite show of all the WWE shows before the draft. But it just feels like a breath of fresh air now. And I'm not gonna say it's my favorite show, but it's like moving up there. But they need more than these two past weeks to actually make it my favorite show.
I'll just tell you guys real quick about, because I don't want to waste any time, about what I think about the three.
Go ahead. We have all day.
Okay. I'll give my situation on ECW, SmackDown, and Raw, and I'll try to keep it short. Right now, I'll tell you the good parts and bad parts of each one. The good parts about Raw, they have big superstars. I mean, they have the main ones, a lot of mainstream champions. I mean, people there. To me, it looks like they're getting a little bit more promos than used to in the current. It's like they can't think about what they want to do, because sometimes they do it too less and too much, but I'm not going to, nitpick on that. I don't know if that's good or bad, but anyway, the bad things are that, now you got, kind of all the slow people in one show, kind of. It's like, usually you want to keep it balanced. You want to get the fast people, the big people. You usually want less big people and more fast people. But now it's just, all the big people are there. Like Big Show, Batista, John Cena. I'm surprised Great Paul Lita didn't go over there.
Chris, well, the thing is about Raw. Raw, SmackDown, ECW. I mean, back then, I remember back then, when the draft, when they started doing Raw and SmackDown brands, it wasn't made as which one was the A show or the B show. It wasn't like that. It was basically just two shows, man. And I mean, it didn't have to deal with Raw and SmackDown beefing with each other. Beef. It was all just Raw and SmackDwn minding their own business. But now, Raw, SmackDown, ECW is making that Raw like the A show, SmackDown's the B show, and ECW is the C show. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be just the shows worrying about themselves, doing what they got to do to actually put out, you know, a show for themselves, you know, put out, you know, pay-per-views for themselves. You know what I'm saying? I mean that's what I can. And I said this once and I'll say it again. SmackDown is the better show, people. It's the better show.
Anyway,
hold on, let me get in here real quick and say, I agree. SmackDown, for a long time, it did have a little murky period for a little while where I actually did enjoy Raw for a little bit more, for a little bit, but really consistently, I've always thought SmackDown is the better show. I'm more of an old school kind of guy. SmackDown's more about the wrestling, their matches. What's up with Raw and these like 4-minute matches? Like, have you seen a match that goes on for longer than 6 minutes on Raw? Like SmackDown, they will show those wrestlers giving it their all for matches.